So this is a place, often, we're talking about animals, but once you start getting into areas of seafloor, the largest geological features on Earth, and some of the most dramatic, are in the deep ocean. And there are hundreds of thousands of submarine volcanoes. There is one 40,000 mile long volcano that happens at the seam where tectonic plates pull apart and encircles the Earth. So there's just a lot happening. There are valleys greater than that could swallow Yosemite all over the place. There's just, everything's big. And one of the things that happens in these places where the tectonic plates are moving and shifting is that there's hydrothermal vents. So there are places where the seafloor pulls apart and these volcanic vents emerge. And these vents, you'll see them a little bit later, were scientifically jaw-dropping because we didn't think they could harbor any life. And they were only discovered in 1977. And not only did they have life, they had this really specific life that was not photosynthetic. So it was the very first time we had seen creatures that were alive that didn't rely on the sun to be alive. And instead, they were being nourished by the energy that comes from the Earth, the internal chemistry and energy from the mantle and below. And scientists were just like, life has more than one trick up her sleeve, and we just didn't know that. So these vents were really scientifically important, and everybody started thinking that life on Earth probably originated at one of these vents, but there were a few problems, and one of them was that they're very hot, they're volcanic. The other one is they're very acidic, and because they're all volcanic, they can be erupted on, and you would need some time for life to emerge. Then in 2000, they found this place. It's called Lost City, and you can see, I love this picture because first of all, I'm obsessed with this place. If you told me I had 2 weeks to live and I could go anywhere, it would be Lost City. And that's the Alvin, which is the America's research sub. These subs there's only a handful of them, and they're very expensive. And Alvin's a big machine. And I like this because it gives you a little bit of scale. Like that vent is about 250 feet tall. But what's really unusual about this place is that it's not volcanic. So these vents were happening when the seafloor cracked and the mantle got pushed up, and there was a chemical reaction that changed the mantle rock into a rock called serpentinite, and the byproduct of that is carbonate, just like giant stalactites in caves. But this wasn't hot, it wasn't volcanic. It had clear liquid coming out of it that was warm, and it had microbial life that was among the most ancient we've ever seen. And because it was carbonate, was I think it's at least 200,000 years old. And so all of a sudden, when they discovered this, everybody in the world wanted to come see this place. And to date, it's the only one of its kind that we know. It has all the ingredients to be the right kind of site for the origins of life. And they think that if we were to find life on any of the other ocean planets in our solar system, or ocean moons mostly, like Enceladus or Europa, which at this point I think the prevailing wisdom is it would be sort of amazing if we didn't find life because of vents like this. And what happens is this place takes non-biological elements, carbon, hydrogen, turns it somehow into biological materials. So that abiotic to biotic shift happens in this kind of chemistry. So this to me was wow, why don't we know more about it? And so James Cameron, every astrobiologist, every microbiologist has been out to this place, and they found first they thought there were no animals there at all, and then they realized, oh wow, all the animals are transparent, and they were all brand new species. And just everything about the place, I'm going to come back to this place because just for the moment, hold in your mind how extraordinary and one of a kind this particular place is. Although they think that when the Earth was very young, there were more of these kinds of sites because there was more mantle rock exposure to seawater.
And there could be more that just haven't.
And there are probably more, but we haven't explored the seafloor. Right. So, yeah.